We are on location at DragonCon '09 in Atlanta, Georgia, and with me is fellow Huntsvillian Felicia Day. Felicia, that you know from the Guild and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dr. Horrible's Singalong blog, and about 10,000 other things that we're going to try and cover here in the brief amount of time that you have with us, Felicia. Thank you so much for taking time to say hi.
No problem. When I saw that you guys were from Huntsville, and I remember as a kid WAAY very prominently in my childhood, so I was like, oh yes, definitely, I will make time to talk to you.
You're from Huntsville originally, and how did your career start? There's so much to talk about, but just take us back to what made you decide to get into this crazy business.
My aunt, Kate Miller, or Kate Jansen right now, she was an actress, and she got me to audition for Huntsville Little Theater to Kill a Mockingbird, and I won an award for that. And that was like, I was supposed to be 8, but I lied, and I was really like 6. So I got that part, and that was my first acting foray because of my aunt. And she actually runs the Little Theater, the Children's Theater, in Madison now still. So it's funny, I still have family there. So she kind of got me in the business, and that's I just continued because I moved around a lot. So my dad was in the military when I was 12 on. So we moved around, and it was always like theater that I did from town to town.
And what was your first major role? I think was probably the Slayer in training in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. How did that part come along for you?
Yeah, so after college, I went to University of Texas at Austin, and I went early. I started when I was 16, so I graduated early, and I moved out to LA, and I got some parts here and there before, but definitely the biggest part that I got it just how every other actor gets it. You go in audition when your agent gets you in audition, and you just hope that you're one of the people they pick. So it just happened to be that the people liked me, and they hired me, and that was like 9 episodes, I think. So it was really cool. It was a really nice set to be on.
Yeah, so I've heard, and evidently you hit it off with Joss Whedon so well that you wound up in this very unusual project that we haven't talked about called Dr. Horrible's Singalong blog. Tell us a little bit about that for maybe the 1 or 2 people that have never heard or seen it before.
Dr. Horrible is an internet musical starring Neil Patrick Harris and Nathan Fillion. You've seen them in many things. They're very fancy. And it's something that Joss Whedon, the creator of Buffy and many other series, did outside the system. It came out of the writer's strike when the studios were trying to get writers to work for much less. And, they were tussling over terms. And he decided to just make something completely outside the system without permission from any studio. And it turned into a huge, internet phenomenon. It's up for an Emmy, which is cool because it's never been shown on TV, which I think is nice and ironic. Yeah, it is wild. So hopefully it wins, and it's touched a lot of lives. I mean, it's just really something that you couldn't have seen through any mainstream means. So and I was lucky to be cast as Penny. Joss had seen some of the work that I did on the Guild, a web series, and he was already thinking about doing something on the web. So he cast me in it, and I'm very thankful. So actually, I had emailed Joss about my show because I was doing it completely on our own, and I still do. We don't have a publicist or anything. I can't afford that. So I emailed him, and he'd actually watched it because he's really cool like that. He supports the people he's worked with in the past in an amazing way. So he even said, oh, that's, some of the ways that he distributed Dr. Horrible were, inspired by what I do at the Guild, which is completely just fan-driven. And, that's what makes meeting everybody at the con so much more significant, because I know that every one of these people has helped the show become what it is. It's really a grassroots effort. So. And
it's coming out on DVD. The first 2 seasons coming out at the end of September?
Yeah, end of September we're launching a DVD. The other DVDs were self-released, and now we're doing a compilation DVD, and it's going to be in stores and on a lot of other online sites, and it's going to be season 1 and season 2 together with some bonus stuff, and it's going to be cool, and it has a nice, pretty cover that I didn't have to design myself.
It looks great, and also Dr. Horrible, we got to plug this. That just recently came out through the same distributor, which I think is New Video Incorporated.
Yeah, New Video. They're a really interesting company. They're doing stuff outside the mainstream system. They're doing some web series and just really, supporting independent content and finding new ways to distribute media. We're in a very strange environment in the media world where some of the old systems, the way people are doing things, are broken. Kind of like the music business was about 5 years ago. So I think, companies like that, and me, I work with Xbox. They are our sponsor for the Guild for seasons 2 and 3 now. And they're essentially my network. They release the show, and you can download it free onto your TV, however big it is. And you can watch it right next to Netflix movies or, buying a TV show. So it's kind of I still own the show, but we're on the same footing as like all this professionally, content. So I think it's really cool. There are a lot of shifting paradigms in media, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Do you foresee this becoming shows like The Guild becoming just as popular as, say, the likes of Lost and what have you?
You know, I mean, honestly, there are like thousands of people who work on Lost, and I'm like me and my producer Kim Evie. Like honestly, we still do almost everything on the show,
Right.
and we have low budgets because we're web video. Sprint is our overall sponsor through Xbox, which is awesome. I mean, they're really so supportive of the show. But at the same time, our budgets are nothing compared to one day on their craft service table of Lost. and they have a whole network and establishment and like publicity, like I said, all our publicity is through our fans. So I don't know if we could ever be that big, just logistically, unless we got a bunch of people behind us and But it's satisfying to do it the way we're doing it. I mean, it might not be we do have millions of people watching the show. We might not be blanketing the world, but we're like touching fans who are really passionate about it, and it's kind of enough as long as I can pay my bills.
I hear you. And you've got so many other things going on. Matter of fact, before we started rolling here today, you're talking about a comic book of some sort.
Yeah, I'm doing a comic book with Dark Horse, which is an awesome comic book company, and we're doing a Guild comic. So they do Dr. Horrible comics, and I met Scott Alley, who's one of the editors over there. And he was, after me to do the Guild comic for like a year, and finally I had a break, and I was like, oh, that might be fun to do. So I got to go do that.
What else is coming up for you? I mean, when you have time.
Just the Guild Season 3 is rolling out, and I'm always working on other projects. Acting. I did a doll episode of Dollhouse, episode 13, that was special on the DVD.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I might be in some future episodes, hopefully. Maybe Joss will do that. But the funny thing is it hasn't really translated. My acting career has not translated to Hollywood, so people aren't like knocking down the door to hire me for stuff, which is just, a little bit of a disappointment. But at the same time, everything I've done, I've just been doing it because the door wasn't open for me otherwise. So being empowered like that is it's very gratifying, and I wouldn't want to just go back to the point where I'm just begging for jobs again. It's you can really make opportunities for yourself on the internet and in this new world where you can find people one click away. So I think that's very exciting for anybody who wants to do their creative outlet and doesn't want to wait around for somebody to give them the thumbs up.
And you just never know unless you try.
It's true, and you just have to do something fulfilling for yourself. That's kind of what life's about.
And that's why I'm here right now. And Felicia, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us, and best of luck in your career. And please don't be a stranger. We'd love to have you back on the show sometime.
Well, thank you very much.